No whiti toko papa, no mani poto toko mama, ko John toko ingoa. Kia ora. I've been making toki forms for many years. I've been working with Pounamu for near on 20 years now, and just knowing what the toki means. In itself, it's seen as a symbol of determination, strength, but it was a tool. It had functional use that we were able to do our gardening with these tools. We were able to build our society, so it was a functional tool, the toki. What led me to think about making a toki of this scale? The earthquake and how we're in that process of rebuilding. The overarching theme for the SCAPE series was around sweat equity. And I was looking for something that talks about sweat equity in itself. Jamie Hanton approached me and goes, look, would you like to be one of the selected artists for this particular show? Have you got any ideas as to what you'd like to make in a bigger scale? I thought, well, why not a toki? In terms of this work, I initially thought, well, we could do something in fiberglass, but then I liked the idea of steel. Steel, hey, Toki and Maitai, you know, the idea that steel in itself it's been introduced into this country only a few hundred years ago, but it kind of replaced Pounamu in terms of how it retains its sharpness, and yeah, so I guess I thought, okay, we'll look at that too, you know, the idea of replacing Pounamu with steel. You know, my early visits to the museum, you know, you'd see hundreds, if not thousands, of these tokis that have been found all over Te Waipounamu. And you're like, oh, okay, so this is part of who we are, you know, being stone people. And then when new technologies came into this space, like the metal in itself, our carving just got maybe a little bit more deeper and a little bit more refined, because we can take more stone off or more wood off as well. So I guess, yeah. So that's hence why I thought, oh well, steel's good, right? Play with steel. It has my name on it, it's Jon Jeet, he Toki Maitai, but I mean, it was a community that pretty much built this thing, you know. I mean, from SCAPE, talking to SCAPE, understanding what was required to fit within the brief of the show, to be exhibited, then talking to Lee Mason, who was the fabricator through Coombes, and moving on to how we're going to even get it to the art centre, talking to the art centre itself, and who else? I mean, just seemed like there was a raft of people, then talking to different people through the council about if it's culturally appropriate to be making this toki, you know. So many discussions. It took months to make, really, because I mean, it's the first time they had even considered making something of this scale and trying to bend the steel to give that sort of curved look. So like, well, how's it going to work? How's it going to look? How are we going to make it secure? How are we going to ensure that if people jump on it, that it's safe? It's about keeping it safe. And so the base plate in itself speaks to Rakai Hautu carving into the landscape of the Canterbury Plains. This is a depiction of the braided river running through there, you know. It takes a community to make a big work like this. It really does. I mean, there's probably, let's say, 100 plus people that have helped in the building or the construction of this work, you know. It's not just my hands, it's a big team of people. The cool thing about having this artwork in New Brighton is, I live in New Brighton, and the site where it is now, I had a studio in this space for 3 years. I used to have an old school. The old school New Brighton used to be here, and I had a bit of a studio space where I was teaching and painting and carving and drawing, and it's really nice just to bring it home, yeah, have it here.